35 forbidden and hot explicit erotic sex stories. Tantric and taboo sex, swingers, BDSM, bisexuals, first-time lesbians, cuckold, threesomes, forbidden desires, gangbang, rough, spanking, femdom, orgy, medical, MILF, BBW, daddy seduction, and much more. Written by Ken Ryle. Narrated by Mary Vitesh, Prince Navis, Louis Bagall, and Eve Rotterson.
Story 1. After that night with Marcia in Maryland, life just got busier and busier. It was great, but I had started to feel a bit drained. I tried to slow them down, unsuccessfully, so felt that the only way was to take a short holiday. It seemed the only way of getting a little peace and quiet. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved the attention I was getting, and the sex was mind-blowing. I just needed a short break to recharge my batteries. Now, this time of year was when I always took a break, to get a bit of warmth before the winter really set in. I got an email circular from one of the tour companies I'd used in the past, and there was what seemed like an absolute bargain going in the Caribbean. 1 week in St. Lucia seemed right on the button, and I booked it straight away. And when I broke the news that I would be away for a week or so, you'd have thought I was depriving them of everything good in their lives. You should have heard them. It was like I was leaving them forever. It did my ego no end of good, and when I told them where I was going, they sounded very envious. Marcia, especially, was keen to know more about where I was staying, and when I told them that it was the Jade Mountain Resort in Soufriere, she said that she had heard it was a wonderful place. The flight was overnight with a stopover in Atlanta, so I was a bit tired when I finally got to my hotel, which was indeed something rather special, sited up in the hills with a wonderful view over the bay. My room had a large king-sized bed and a balcony which looked out on the verdant peaks of the hills and the iridescent blue sea. I took a nap and woke in time for dinner. I'd chosen the all-inclusive option, so I made up for the airline food and picked myself out on the buffet. Afterwards, having had a few tots of the local rum, I was feeling very mellow, but still tired, and went out like a light as soon as I got back to my room. And the maid woke me at 9:40 when she came to service the room, as I must have forgotten to put the don't disturb notice on the door handle. She breezed in and was just about to pull the curtains when she realized that I was in bed, gave a small cry, and apologized. I told her not to worry, and she said she'd come back later. I spent the day around the pool, liberally applying the sun cream to prevent me burning to a frazzle in the hot sun. The evening was spent much like the previous one, eating and drinking well at dinner, followed by a few drinks in the bar afterwards, just chatting to fellow guests. The effect of the sun and the drinks sent me off to sleep, and once again, I forgot to put the sign out. Around the same time, I was woken by the door opening and the maid coming into the room. I was hardly awake, very dozy, and just lay back, hoping to doze again, when a hand slid under the single sheet and started to stroke my cock. My body reacted as one might expect, but my mind was not really fully with me, so I lay there and let the hand bring me to full rigidity. The single sheet slipped away from my body as a mouth engulfed my erect member and continued to suck me while stroking my balls. The eroticism of the moment, with me hardly awake and being sucked to completion by a very expert mouth, meant that I didn't hold back at all. Within a few minutes, I was pumping my seed into this stranger's mouth. The next thing I heard was the click of the door closing. When I did wake properly, it was mid-morning, and somewhat bemused by the morning's events, I decided to stay in my room to meet the maid who had taken such a beautiful liberty with my person. About 1:45 the maid arrived, and greeting me as a stranger, started to tidy the room. I had to know, so I apologized for not greeting her when she
Sample complete. Ready to continue?